Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the match preview. And we're playing Manchester City on New Year's Eve. What a way to wrap up 2022 with Everton going away to the champions when we can't win points against teams that are at the bottom of the league. Never mind teams that are around the top. So, what a horrendous game. No matter when you play Man City, you know it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But what a horrendous time to be playing them.
Is it? Just get it done and dusted.
Yeah.
It'll round off annus horribilis, as the Queen once said, because that's what it's been, 2022. It's been a awful year of football. It started with a awful home defeat by Brighton, and it's going to end, I imagine, with a defeat by Manchester City, who are obviously a tremendous football side with tremendous players. But to go into this game, you know, normally I have some positivity and think, well, I might be way wrong, and I hope I am. I just don't see any way Everton don't lose the game.
No, of course we lose the game. I mean, there's no... The problem is about it, right, is that we're crap, right? We're crap. Let's get it right. We're rubbish, right?
And we've got no confidence,
right? So you look at their last home game, and they played Brentford. They got beat 2-1, obviously a last-minute goal. You look at the Brentford side and you go, right, they took risks because they can take risks. They've got players in there who can break, who can get forward, who can score goals. We haven't got any of that. So the other option is just to sit deep and put 5 men behind the ball and try and stop them scoring 7 goals. And that literally is the 2 options we've got, because it's not a case of going, be brave. I'd love us to be brave. I'd love us to be one of those teams that rolls up to City and goes, no, today we might as well either have a go, because we're not capable of having a go. No. And this is the real problem with this Everton team. If it's not capable of having a go, it hasn't got tactical nous, it hasn't got good enough players, and it's horrible to be sitting here and, you know, you talk about, you know, I don't even think there's any point in talking about this game in its what we do. It's more about the year, isn't it? Wrapping up the year, New Year's Eve. And I'm glad this does fall on New Year's Eve and not on New Year's Day, so we can put it together, like you just said, in one big horrible batch. But it's that thing of we've just been talking about it off air. They're going, just sitting here thinking, it's now acceptable for people to say Everton just in a relegation fight. Like, there's nothing else.
Outcome,
There's no other expectation from the football club. This comes from Frank Lampard again. We're in a relegation fight. That's the thing this season. So therefore, that's come from the club. Stay up. And this game doesn't matter to Everton Football Club. Let's get it right. This game doesn't matter. To Everton Football Club as a club, this doesn't matter. This is an acceptable defeat, because that's what it is. There's no thought process like Brentford would have had of how we can beat them. It's get 10 men behind the ball and hope that they don't score early so that it doesn't become a massively long day. Keep them out as long as you can, like it was last season. And that's where we are now, and that's what 2022 represents as a year. As the year it became acceptable or to talk about Everton as one of the relegation teams, because before that we weren't.
No.
This time 2 years ago we were second in the table, or thereabouts till the West Ham game, and then the wheels started falling off. But even then we'd had a great December. We were unbeaten.
We were still in the Champions League places in March though.
Yeah. And now what 2022 has done is we've become a team that everyone thought we were going to go down last year, and most people think we're going to go down this year. And that's happened in 2022. The space of a year, by the way. It wasn't necessarily something people were talking about in 2021, even when we were having bad... We were, as fans, like going, this could be tough, this could be edgy, this. But I think people...
I don't think so.
I think people on the outside didn't think that. Oh, Everton will be fine, you know. Rafa will get it sorted and all that. But 2022, that's what it's become. We are now looked upon as a relegation team. And a lot of people expect us to go down. I expect us to go down if things don't change one way or another, football club. And I'm just glad, as I said, that this game fits in nicely into 2022 rather than 2023, because it's been an horrendous year, Baz, a horrendous year.
It's been terrible. Won that, I think we've got 9 league wins under Frank, but it's 9 league wins in the year because Rafa Benitez didn't win a game from early December. So Everton have won 9 games in I think there's about 30, I think Frank's had 34, I think, so it'll be 37, won't it? So 9 league wins in 37 games in this year. This will be the 38th, obviously, which is dreadful. That's 27 points. It's absolutely dreadful. We won 5, in the second half of last season. We ended up 5 wins or something, and we've had 3 wins this season. We've had 3 wins, and we're talking about a game on New Year's Eve, and we've only won 3 games of football. It's been awful. It's been an awful year. I can't remember a year like this, to be honest. Fallen so quickly from a team that was... Because let's be honest, when Benitez took over, obviously Carlo had just got 59 points, hadn't he? We'd missed out of Europe by a couple of points. When Benitez got it, I know a lot of people didn't want him to have it, and rightly so, but you can't forget we started that season with 10 points out of 12, and a lot of people had Everton down as getting into Europe, albeit maybe like 7th place or something, but certainly being in the fight for Europe, for European football. And that was only the beginning of last season, where we were in the fight for Europe, European football, and obviously it didn't turn out like that, and injuries, and we ended up, Frank come in, and we still had bad luck with injuries, we weren't playing well, and we ended up that. But we started this season, and when Richarlison went out the door, goals were needed to be brought in. We needed goal. We lost Richarlison. We lost our centre forward 4 days before the season started, and we allowed it to just play on each week. And we eventually got Maupay in and he didn't play until September. So it was, a lot of people were saying at the time, unless Everton buy goals, they're going to struggle. And it's not rocket science to anybody, is that? Yes, I understand when people go, we don't create anything either. I accept that. Absolutely accept it. But if you've got a lad who's a handful up front, you will get goals and you'll get things from it. And Newcastle, Newcastle, I think, had won 1 game last Christmas. And Eddie Howe didn't win for about 10 games or something when he first came in. He got draws and things like that. A year later, they're 2nd in the Premier League. Within the calendar year, they've had an absolutely tremendous 2022. Come back with a 3-0 win at Leicester. Whatever it was, a 3-0, 3-1, whatever it was. 3-0, sorry, yeah. So they've shown you how you can go from a team that's everybody. They were relegated. Last December, everyone's, they're gone. So it'll be funny when they get relegated with all the money, And they were able to go, right, in January, we need bang, 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 and he turned it, and they've had a tremendous, tremendous year. And gone from relegate, a team that looked nailed on for relegation, to being 2nd in the Premier League. I'm not saying Everton will have that transformation.
No, they won't, because they haven't got the people at the football club.
But what I'm saying is, it shows you how quickly it can go that way. But we've shown how quickly it can go the other way.
That's a football club that got all its ducks in a row. Simple as that. They got rid of the problems. They got bought out, got rid of the problems at the top. Didn't keep any hangers on or anyone who causes any problems. They got it all done. Bought the players they needed, bought defenders, bought a really good midfielders. They already had the attackers, they added onto it. And look where they are, flying with confidence.
They haven't even had Isaac, have they?
Whether it lasts,
it doesn't matter.
Be fantastic.
They're gonna probably get in.
Well, get in Europe.
They should get in Europe, shouldn't they?
And they might even, League Cup, they've got a good chance of the League Cup.
Got a good draw in.
So, that's the point. And, we go to a club which has untold ambition. The kind of ambition.
Untold wealth.
Well, yeah, but that's where it comes from, doesn't it, of course? But it's got ambition on top of the wealth. We've had the wealth, not their wealth, but we've had a level of wealth. Again, it's not their wealth, but, we've had a level of wealth but there's no planning. See what sticks to the wall, throw at the wall, see what sticks. And now we are where we are because of it. And you go there and this is where we are. But by the way, this is a club that a few years ago I did not fear even when they were good. I was talking about this yesterday, funny enough, saying that. I remember when we went there and beat them 2-1, it was like the coldest night ever think Baines and Anachabi got sent off in it and beat them 2-1, and we had the Indian sign over them for ages, and then obviously it stopped. But it wasn't a team I feared because we went there and we had to go. And I was never worried I've never worried going to City because I thought we'll have a go here. But now I look at them and even in my heart of hearts, I look at the team and I just think, you're not even capable of having a go. It doesn't matter what team we pick. Let's just look at the team from the Wolves game. Actually, let's just look at the Man City team first from the Leeds game. Obviously, 3-1 win. I mean, you can see there an embarrassment of riches for the side. Obviously, Haaland up front getting a couple. We'll talk about him more in a minute. But he had the likes of Calvin Phillips, Kyle Walker, Cancelo, Laporte, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, all on the bench. Only Foden and Cancelo came on, and young Cole Palmer. It's just embarrassing. Look at that team, and you just think any combination of that team or the players that we've just mentioned there will absolutely, or have the potential to absolutely destroy us on Saturday. So it's never ever easy going to Man City, but Haaland, who's in unbelievable form. Let's just have a little look at his stats. 20 goals in 14 Premier League games, 3 assists, 4.3 shots a game, which is just absolutely ridiculous. But you know what? You look at him and you look at the numbers and you think, you could see him not scoring against Everton, but it doesn't matter, does it? Because look at all those other players. Look at all those players that they've got available. It's just an embarrassing of riches. And when you look at what they've got in the forward lines and midfield, and then you look at what we've got, you just can't compare them. So, there you have it. It's just ridiculous. But let's have a look at the Everton team from the Wolves game anyway. Now, I imagine Conor Cody comes back.
Yeah, Firmino, yeah.
And I can even see another centre-back maybe coming in. But
and going to 3 at the back.
Maybe. 5 at the back.
Yeah, 5 at the back. Yeah.
So maybe Godfrey comes in for the pace. And you go 3 at the back and then you have 5 at the back and then you maybe take McNeil out the team and play with 1 up front and 1 off and then have your 3 in midfield. Maybe.
Well, that's how. I mean, if you're going to do it, that's what you do.
I mean, if you do it at Spurs, you're going to do it here, aren't you? Right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The Godfrey will come in for the pace, I imagine, and Cody will come back to organise and play a 5-3-2. You may as well. You may as well have Anthony Gordon or Damari Gray alongside Maupay, because that's who it's going to be. Because Dom won't be ready. Manager even said Brighton. He's not going to start Tom Cannon, is he? No. Although might be.
Why not?
Why not? Because I mean, Maupay's not really pulled up any trees at the moment, but maybe if you were that brave, you'd start Maupay and Cannon up front and play 3 in midfield and go 5-3-2, and that's how we'll play. To give the kid a bit of Premier League experience. He won't, obviously. He'll probably play Gray off Maupay and just have him busy trying to bob around and have the other 3 in midfield. But I can't, listen, I'm not going to put stock on this and have a go Frank Lampard and the coaching staff for this one. This is a game that would be difficult at the best of times, but it is sad that we're going there without any kind of hope. Now, mad things happen in football. Sometimes teams win games you'd never expect them to, but it won't. We don't have the right mentality for that. Cody will improve the mentality being on the pitch. Of course he will, but there's no way, I just don't see any way Everton get any kind of result here, other than it being a Christmas miracle, which it would have to be, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we saw in the Wolves game, we saw a goal from a set piece, which is nice. And if we can continue maybe that could be a threat. And we had the set piece in the second half from Damari Gray, which almost led to a goal. So that they might be small instances that we can, but it's gonna be 2 hours of just gritting your teeth, isn't it? And
we've got to
and just letting it roll.
What we have to do is there has to be, and for the manager this is as well, there has to be some sort of springboard. There has to be, and it might be that we get beat 2-1, but we play. Or there has to be something because right now, it's got that horrible. There's just a horrible sinking feeling around it where it's
Jimmy
flat.
Gabriel feel about it.
It just feels flat. And
There's inevitability about it.
Something.
Yeah.
And it's either he loses his job or we go down. That's the, or, because I can't see the other in it. I don't know whether there's another in it. But that's just how it feels right now. And that can change, of course it can. It can change quickly and has to change quickly if we're to get on a run. But you've got to look at these games and go, all right, we're probably going to get beat because they're a good side and we're not. And they're at home and you've got the best striker in the world and we haven't. And the other things that you have to point to. So what can we take as positives out of this game? And maybe it is mix it up a little bit. Maybe it is get Tom Cannon on the pitch for a bit longer or get Isaac Price in there or Stanley. Why not?
What's the point of having Maupay run around for?
We're probably going to lose the game anyway. So give them, but you've got to say that, haven't you? So give the other lads a little bit of Premier League experience. Can they do it? It is difficult. We've got, for me, the Brighton game's more important because it's a home game. Yeah. And even though Brighton will be they're a good side and score goals, it'll be a tough game. But that's a game where we're at home and we've got to. That's where, if Everton are going to stay up, that's where they'll get most of the points. And it's hard to say that having just lost to the bottom of the table side, who aren't very good, and you've got a good side coming. But that's what I'm saying when I'm talking about can there be something that can come out of this game? That's a bit of a springboard because I don't know what it is. It's been a horrendous year of football for Everton Football Club. It really has, and we scraped survival by the skin of our teeth. There was no changes made over the summer, which there should have been at board level. It didn't happen. We've gone into this season and the malaise is there again because we didn't recruit correctly in the summer. We needed goals. We needed to buy goals in the summer. And whether that was buying goals where you were taking a chance with it, but these players had the ability to do it. We didn't. We gambled. And we also gambled on players who don't have a history of scoring goals. And we're sat here going, we don't score enough goals.
Yeah, why don't we score enough goals?
So
weird that, innit?
You can't, that's where we are. And 2023 has to be totally different. It has to be totally different. Otherwise, guess what? When you become one of those teams who just miss it one year, and then they go and everything goes well. They should have probably gone last year.
We're circling the drain, aren't we? We and on and off, we have been. Listen, this is a football club ever since Mashiri come in. Let's get it right. The year he come in, it was unacceptable, so he got rid of the manager. But then he had a clean slate. He had a clean slate. It was his opportunity to put his mark on it. And the problem is, he did put his mark on it. He didn't go out and find experts or the right people. He just decided, and he's a man who knows nothing about football. It's clear as day. The evidence has been presented. That's not me making a comment. Off that the evidence
on the table.
The evidence is there. He knows nothing about football, and he relies on the wrong people. We know he relied on agents in his ear for too long, and all that's happened is we have a year, and then we get to 18 months, and then we sack, and then we rinse and repeat.
It's come shorter and shorter.
Yeah, it's come shorter, and then he went big. He got Carlo in. It was, in hindsight, it was the wrong move. He should have gone for a Moyes. People will, but he should because financially, Everton couldn't cope with what a Carlo Ancelotti manager wanted
and needed,
which was your James Rodriguez's of the world, where we needed a Moyes, and that's from a financial point of view because we've seen what's happened since. Ancelotti leaves, he picks the wrong man. 6 months, brings another man in, and we are where we are not because of the manager we've got now, but because of the players we've got now. Because the quality's been cut and cut and cut and cut, and the team we've got now is a championship team. It really is. It really is a championship. It's got a championship front three.
See, Frank Lampard wouldn't have. I imagine James would have played under Lampard.
Yeah, of course he would.
And I imagine Luca Dean would have played under Frank Lampard. And I wonder what he would have done with Moise Keane. I'm not saying Moise Keane's the answer, but he's a centre forward, he's young and he's mobile. But Lampard didn't have any of them tools. They were all gone before he got there. Gylfi, Sigurdsson, obviously for different reasons. But all of them goals and opportunities for goals were all gone. And the manager's been left with a difficult hand to play because it's gone. But the one thing that you'd have to say is, if it was his decision to bring in a couple of the attacking players,
Neil Maupay,
Dwight McNeil, which weren't really what Everton needed, then he's got to be included in that, because like I said on the final word, if you bring Maupay in alongside another 6'3" centre forward and you're going, well, he's going to play off him and play around him, I get that. I totally get that, but to not do that, the football club have failed in the recruitment there. And they can't. We're going into a new window now. The window opens on
a few days.
A couple of days or whatever it is. So therefore, Everton have got to be ready to go with that. I don't know who it is, but they have to be ready to go and get people through it. Because at least if Everton bring in 2 or 3 this window, and preferably 2 very quickly, the fans will go, right, all right then, we can see something developing here. If 1 week and 2 weeks goes by and we're waiting and games are just, we're talking about writing another 3 points off here, by the way. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we're in Brighton and we've come back from the break and we've lost 2 games out of 2. The pressure on the Brighton, and it will be pressure on the Brighton game because we are probably going to lose this game. We will lose this game. The pressure then on the Brighton game's huge. Then we go to Manchester United in an FA Cup game at Old Trafford. We could quite easily lose that game as well. And then you're talking about, all of a sudden it becomes unbearable. So Everton have got to be able to throw something in the way that goes, stop this. We're going, the momentum's going one way. And we have to push it the other way.
By the way, you're absolutely right about the signings, because if Everton do get signings in, the fan base says we'll go, right, we're having a go. So you're absolutely right about that. If they don't and they wait, the fan base will go the other way.
Of course they will.
And they will turn on
everyone. Because it's our football club. I've said this before. Listen, you were saying that social media is an awful place, in my opinion. It really is. But apparently people are having a go with each other on social media, and the easiest thing to do is sit behind a keyboard or on your phone and slag other people off. It's the lowest common denominator. It's what people like to do, society, the way it is. Right, but everyone's entitled to an opinion. But people are lock horns on different things here. But ultimately, even if you don't agree with another Evertonian, or there's Evertonians acting like school kids, throwing mud at each other for no reason, instead of just being a nice human being, they all have got the one thing at the core. Whether there's a fella here who disagrees with me and doesn't like me, or I don't, well, whatever, we all want the same thing, and that's for the football club to be better, don't we? Whichever bit it is, and however argumentative it can get, we all want the same thing, which is for our football club to be better. But Everton have to give us something to hang on to. And they have to bring these people in. And he can't hide behind it's a difficult window. We've got to get the right people in. All that work should be getting done on September the 1st when the window shuts. So you go, right, when this window opens, he's ready and he's ready to go. And you bounce them in, and the fans all of a sudden go, these do care like we do. We want to get it right. Or they can at least see that happening. If it's not happening, then we are going to... There's only so much people can give. There really is. And everyone gave a lot last season.
Listen, we'll be relegated. It's not a big scary word. It's a big scary thing to happen, but we will be relegated. We will be relegated with this. They are not good enough. They are
Don't score goals.
They are one of the worst 3 teams in the league. It's just so what it's there. So it's in plain sight. Everton need to improve the squad. If they don't, then we're in massive trouble. It's not. We've not got that talisman. We've not got that leader like we did last season. We all now know that Dominic Calvert-Lewin isn't the saviour. He's not coming to save us. We're not falling for that trick again. It's not happening. Because you can't be relied on someone, so you can't pin your hopes on someone. So Everton have to bring players in and they have to be ready, and that's the simple fact. And if they don't, there's no way this team's good enough to stay up. It just isn't. It's a poor team.
Even if Dom gets fit, by the way, and plays, you can't put all the pressure on him. You need more goals. No, but regardless of whether he stays fit the whole season.
That's what I'm saying. You can't rely on when he's on the pitch.
All of the goals on him going, you've got to score for us. You've got to have goals everywhere in the team. And you've got to have a lad who you look to the bench and go, well, I can put him on either next to him or replace him, and he'll get us a goal.
He played against Leicester and missed the sitter at 1-0. It's, you know, you can't say it's all down to Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Nope. Good
teams, or even bad teams, have 3 or 4 goal scorers who just weigh in. You can't, you know, patterns of play, good set pieces. You can't say, well, if Don comes back, all these chances are going to fall to him. Yeah. They're all going to, you know, the Anthony Gordon chance against, you know, at the weekend against Wolves, well, that would have fell to Dom, but it doesn't fall to Dom because why would he be in that position if that's the position Anthony Gordon's taken up? All these other players have to start scoring goals, or they have to be replaced.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that, isn't it?
It's as simple as that, yeah.
So
there is no other answer.
No.
The only way we start upwardly moving as a football club is to get a team that can create goals and score goals. It's the only. It sounds stupid, but it's the only way.
It's not stupid.
It's the name of the game, isn't it?
Sort of.
Not the name, but you know what I mean. It's the premise of the game.
That net, put the ball in there. Nothing else matters.
And keep it out the other end.
Else, you know, there's been people in football who go, yeah, and all we do is we just lump the ball or flick it on and score because all that matters. Pep Guardiola does it by having 1 million passes. That's the way he does it. But ultimately, you put the ball in that net and you get the same value as whether it's 1 million passes or it's 1, and that's it. Ball. But we don't do either of those things.
We saw that this season, didn't we? Forest at home. Pickford kicks a ball from the penalty spot. Gray brings it down, and it's in the net. Three touches and the ball's in the back of the net. And we'd gone 91 minutes trying to do other stuff and couldn't score. And it's as simple as that, isn't it? And teams, Leicester City won the league with 28% possession because they didn't need possession. It was bang it, Vardy goal. Bang it, Vardy goal. And that was it. And I'm not saying that Everton should fully do that, but that's what we need to do because...
what a miserable video.
There you go.
There you go. No point talking too much about this game. Listen, they've got amazing players who can all of them can hurt us. That's it. That's the end of it, isn't it? They've got amazing players that can hurt us, and I don't know how we hurt them. I really don't. I really don't. It's like Ned.
We need a Christmas.
Like Ned going to fight, you know, anyone. It's going to be tough. So let's, you know, New Year's Eve out the way, and then hopefully on to a better 2023. We all hope anyway.
It's got to be, hasn't it? It's got to be, mate.
It's got to be.
It's quite simply got to be.
There you go. Obviously, we wish all our viewers a happy New Year.
Very happy.
And a very successful, happy, successful, healthy.
Healthy is the big
2023.
One. Be nice to each other.
Yeah. So all the best to everybody. And keep watching. And join.
Take it easy.
The best thing to do to start 2023 is to join Toffee TV Premier. It's the number one thing to do.
Well, what it is it's like a self-help group.
Yeah.
So you become that, and then that'll be obviously relegation watch.
But also it's a community.
And everything else.
It's like Noah's Ark. So while the rest of the people are drowning in the Twitter fume, everyone on Toffee TV Premier is just...
We've got a safe space.
And
a supportive network.
Supportive network to express their views and get help and join our Discord group where it's also very, very similar. And it's good people saying good things and being nice to each other and all that kind of thing. So
there you go.
There you go. Thanks for watching. Give this video a like, subscribe, and if you want to join Toffee TV Premier, the link is in the description and the QR code will be coming on the screen in a moment. See you later.
Happy New Year.